So the next segment of this, what feels like a saga on the watering, is that I had from my dad a 3/4 inch poly tubing roll, and I didn't want to have to go spend the $47 on the 1 1/4 inch poly tubing, so I thought I would just try it out. Honestly, with all the hardware I had to buy to retrofit it, it would have been cheaper just to go get the 1 1/4 inch. However, I will look at it as a learning experience. So in order to keep the pressure up, the line here has to be super short so that it'll force it out that way. Because it's such a smaller diameter tubing, it's hard to get it to force that way. What it wants to do is force back that way and go through the holes. So what I had to do in order to keep the pressure up was take these clips that are from 1 1/2 inch tubing. So I cut short sections of 1 1/2 inch tubing. See? And I turned it into a clip, a snap that goes, see, there's the hole. Can you see that it's a hole? The sun's kind of bright, so I can't tell, but the hole's right there. That's the hole. So I clip this clip on over the hole, and what it does is it forces the water to come out slower, so it builds the pressure. And I have these on every single hole, all the way in the front pasture and all the way in the back pasture. Anywhere that I have a tree being watered, I have one of those clips. And they work just as well to have a 1 1/2 inch clip on a 1 1/2 inch tubing. It didn't seem to make any difference in its ability to have pressure or to have enough water. And so I went and spent all this money on hardware, and I don't think I needed the hardware, because what I did was I made this little berm across. If the hose could have just gone down, the pressure would have maintained just fine, but because it was having to go down and then up, the water was back flowing again. So I raised this little berm that will settle and the truck will be able to get over it again. But for now, again, I need to stop experimenting. I had it right the first time with the 1 1/4 inch, but I just didn't want to spend the money. Stupid me. In the end, will I have to come out here and probably do 1 1/4 inch tubing? If I want to get the whole island watered, probably. However, now I know. I don't have to ever wonder ever again if I go from a larger tube to a smaller tube, whether or not I will be happy with it. Now I know. The reason I wanted to do that was because the pump has plenty of pressure still. The pump has lots of pressure still to go. And I still have that line of trees and this island that I was watering by hand. And since I had enough pressure, I thought, well, why don't I just see if I can do that? Because one of the problems is aspen, if they don't have those big leaves on them, it means they're not getting enough water. So if you've got aspen with little tiny leaves still, they're not going to grow. Like this one over here, it isn't getting enough water because its leaves are not getting bigger. See? Those leaves should be getting bigger, but they're not. So I'm able to maintain by bringing water by hand, but it's not enough for them to really take off. So it makes me feel a little stupid because now, at least in right now, I can't get the truck around the roundabout. I can't get anything around the roundabout. So I don't really know if it was worth it or not. But however, I do feel brilliant about putting the clips over the holes, because that way everything is evenly pressurized. And anyway, that's what I did. The trees and the island seem to be doing well.